Good morning, my dears. Today, grade 7 history second lesson we are going to start. This is history second lesson part 1. We are going to be discuss two videos this lesson. Okay, so today the part 1 part we are going to be discussed, right? So before we are moving to the second lesson, new kings and kingdoms, we just recall 6th standard. Okay, why we are going to recall the 6th standard part? After recalling you will understand. Okay, so in 6th standard, one of the lesson we studied about Harshavardhana, right? About Harshavardhana we studied. Okay, who was the Harshavardhana? Harshavardhana was the ruler of Central India, right? The same like we discussed about Chalukyas. Okay, Chalukya dynasties. Okay, so who are the famous rulers of Chalukyas means Pulikeshian ones and Pulikeshian two. That too we discussed, and we discussed about Pallava dynasties, right? So like that these dynasties we discussed. Okay, for each dynasty about Harshavardhana we discussed about prasastis. Okay, set of prasastis they given when the Harshavardhana raided to attack to other country, how the kings were afraid, like that set of prasastis we discuss. Okay, so you know very well what is prasasti. So prasasti is the price of the king. Okay, maybe the prasasti were written by learned brahmanas. Okay, so about prasasti we discussed last year also. Okay, and then Chalukyas they ruled the present day Karnataka. Okay, present day Karnataka and some part of present day Maharashtra. Okay, why we are recalling these means during these two kingdoms. Okay, in the Chalukya dynasties and both Harshavardhana dynasty, in both dynasties we read about one of the persons. Their name called as Samantas, right? Okay, so who were Samantas? Yeah, Samantas were the subordinate of these kings. Okay, subordinate of the kings. Okay, they are the chieftains. Already we studied that lessons in 6th standard lesson. Chieftains or subordinate. Okay, Samantas are the people who helped the kings. Okay, so for the helping, they receive some land grants. Okay, so the Samantas they have to maintain army. They have to pay salary to that army people, the people who are the soldiers who are working with their group. Okay, so instead of for maintaining that group, they are receiving land from the king. Okay, so from that land, that Samanta, they are collecting tax. The particular area allotted for that people, that Samanta, they get to particular type of land or particular area of land. So that full area is controlled by the Samantas, that subordinate. Okay, so when the subordinate were powerful, when the Samantas were very powerful, sometimes they declare themselves as a king. Like that we discussed in grade 6, right? You just recall what we discussed in 6th standard, particularly the lesson number 11. Means many kingdoms. Okay, many kingdoms like Chalukya dynasties, like Pallava dynasty, or Harshavardhana's ruling that dynasty, everything will collapse. Okay, will divide into many countries. Yeah, new kingdoms will started to rule. Yeah, new kings and new kingdoms were started to rule. Okay, that only we are going to discuss this part. Okay, so after that, how the kings were administration and why they grant the lands particular set of people, and why they fought each other. Okay, why they are involving battles to each other, and how the foreign rulers, okay, particularly Muslim rulers, comes to India. That all today we are going to be discuss the whole topic, right? So during 7th century, the Samantas, okay, Samantas means the royal chieftains. So the Samantas, they are experienced, they are getting great amount of wealth from the king, okay. So great amount of wealth and some royalties. Royalty means some rights from the kings, okay. So to whom they are working as a subordinate, from them they are receiving some amount or the land, everything, okay. So the time of the king weakened, okay. When I said before itself, no, the time of king weakened, these Samantas declared themselves as a king in the particular area. So this like only some new dynastics were emerged. Just look at our Indian map. Where did the Chalukya, in which place the Chalukya dynastics were ruled, I said, means the part of present-day Karnataka, okay. The part of present-day Karnataka and some part of present-day Maharashtra. So these areas were ruled by the Chalukya kings, right? So last year itself we discussed, okay. Chalukyas they ruled. Okay, so one of the person worked as a Samanta in the Chalukya kings. Okay, what his name means? Dandi Durga. Okay, Dandi Durga is a person who worked as a Samanta, or subordinate. Okay, or subordinate. Okay, with the of the Chalukya kingdom. Okay, he was the subordinate of Chalukya king, but he planned to declare his area. Okay, so from which area he was dominate? He was dominate this particular area. Okay, so this area was maintained by Dandi Durga as a subordinate of Chalukya. So he planned to declare himself as a king. So that's why he conducted one yaha. Okay, last year itself we discussed, often the kings, they are doing some yaha, some sacrificing. So after the end of sacrificing, he was recognized as a king. Okay, so like that, the Dandi Durga conduct one yaha or sacrificing, that is called as Hiranyagarbha. Okay, Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha, like that. One of the sacrificing was conducted by the king, the subordinate of Dandi Durga. Okay, so after conducting this Hiranyagarbha means a sacrificing. Okay, sacrificing. So who did this work means Brahmins. Okay, that period. Okay, during 7th period, who are the learned people means Brahmins. That we discussed before itself. Okay, so they conduct the sacrificing. So after the end of this sacrificing in this Hiranyagarbha, Dandi Durga declared as a king. So he gave the name of the country of the ruling area is Rashtrakuta. Okay, Rashtrakuta. Okay, so that like only the region Rashtrakuta started to rule. Okay, so slowly the Chalukya kingdom started to decline. So after within 100 years or within 50 years, the full Chalukya dynasty fully occupied by this Rashtrakuta family. Okay, Dandi Durga and their family members, they occupied the full Chalukya dynasty. The whole area started to rule by Rashtrakuta kings. Okay, so this line they are the new dynasty. Some new dynasty started to rule. They started coming to rule. Okay, here. So during 7th century time, who had became the king means the people belongs to Kshatriya caste. Okay, so 600 we discuss about 4 type of varna. One is Brahmanas, second is Kshatriyas, third is Vaishyavas, fourth is Sutradas. Okay, that and all we studied before itself. So in this four category, who will become the king means in that time, in the second category of people, that is Kshatriyas. Okay, but here I gave two names. One is Kadamba Mayurishaman, another is Pratikana Harichandra. Okay, so these two people, these two persons or belongs to Brahmana caste, but they are become, they gave up their practice. Okay, so what are the things they want to do? They gave up their practice, their traditional practice. They are becoming king. The Kadamba Mayurishama, he became the king of Karnataka. The Rashtrakuta ruling extended up to Maharashtra, the north part of Karnataka up to Maharashtra. The Rashtrakuta people ruled. The Kadamba Mayurishaman, he ruled the south part of Karnataka. Okay, so he belongs to what category means Brahmana category, but he became the king of south part of Karnataka. Okay, so this person, Harichandra, okay, he belongs the Pratikana Harichandra. He started to rule the area of the Gujarat, okay, Gujarat and this part of the land. Okay, so Gujarat, presenting Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. Slowly he occupied these regions. First he started to rule the Gujarat and the nearby places. After that they extend this area. Okay, clear? So how the Rashtrakuta dynasty is formed and how the Mayurishaman, Kadamba Mayurishaman become the king and how the Pratikara Harichandra has become the king. Suppose we just read closer means they are the very big warriors. Okay, so they maintain a very big troop. With the help of the troop, with the help of their strength, they become the king. Okay, when they become the king, before that, in which place they are working as a subordinate, the king is maybe he was not ruled properly. That's why these subordinate will become the king, right? So many of these kings like Rashtrakuta king and Gujarat Pratikara king or Mayurishama king, when they become the king, they adapt a sound title. Okay, along with their name, they adapt a sound title like Maharaja Adiraja or Tribhuvana Chakravarti. Like that, they add along their name these titles. Okay, so Maharaja Adiraja means they are the first king of the dynasty. Like that, this is the meaning. And Tribhuvana Chakravarti. What is the meaning of Tribhuvana Chakravarti means? In our Hindu Puranas, we have three set of worlds. One is the sky, another is where we are living in the earth, and one of the world we have under the earth. Like that, in our Puranas, they said three worlds. Okay, so this king, imagine that they are the king of these three worlds. Three worlds. Like that, they are give their name Tribhuvana Chakrabarti and Maharaja and Adiraja. And the second, administration. How the kings were administration during their ruling time means, without a king, without help of others, it is not easy for ruling a country. So the king getting help or appoint some people for their administration. In that, one of the person who is important of administration means Samantas. Samantas, who are called Samanta already I said, the subordinate of the king. Okay, maybe they are the relatives of the king. 1 minute. Yeah, maybe they are the relative of the king or son of the king or a very close family of the king only working as a Samantas. Okay, so they have allotted one area for their control. Okay, so they administrate in that area. That too we discussed in early classes. And what is the role of the Samantas means? They have to maintain army. The time of war, they have to provide army to king. collecting tax. Okay, so in that tax amount they have to use maintaining army, and they have to use for their needs, fulfill their needs. Okay, so that is Samanthas. Next, peasant. Peasant means a large farmers, a large landowners. Okay, large landowners or large farmers. So from farmers they are collecting tax. Okay, nowadays we are paying tax, house tax, road tax, vehicle tax, like that. But in those days there is no cash, token currency method not. Okay, nowadays we are using currency, no, that, but in those days there is no currency. So instead of how they paid their tax means what they are cultivate. Okay, so that cultivate 1/6 amount. Okay, suppose they are cultivate 600 sacks of wheat means out of that 600, 100 sacks they have to pay tax as tax to king. Okay, like that the king collected tax from the farmers. So who are the in charge of collecting tax means in the peasant group who has the large land. Okay, the large landowners have the rights to collect the tax, and he have to pay to kings. Okay, so this like only they collect tax. Same like the traders. From traders also the king collect tax. What are the materials, what are the things they involving in trading? The costly, the some more precious stones and precious metals like gold, like diamond, that they have to pay tax to king as a periodical manner. And then Brahmanas they are working as a ministers to the king, and the Brahmanas they are not paying much tax. Instead of paying tax, they are getting land from the king. Then next topic we are going to discuss land rights. Why they are getting land, that too we will discuss. Okay, so the time of collecting tax in our South India, particularly Tamil Nadu, the Chola dynastic ruled. Okay, so the Chola dynasty they are collecting 400 types of tax. Okay, so not only nowadays we variety of tax our government collect, no, like that the Chola kings they collect around 400 types of tax they collected. So whenever the persons not paying tax, the persons they are punished in severe manner. All the kingdoms. Okay, not only Chola kingdoms. At the time of king's ruling time, the method of collecting tax was regularized, and very strict manner they are collecting tax. Right? The next topic is prasasti and land rights. Okay, prasasti and land rights. Prasasti, what do you mean by prasasti means? This is a Sanskrit word. Okay, prasasti is a Sanskrit word. Its meaning is to price of. Okay, suppose we are seeing many historical movie. In that movie, along with king, we have some people. Okay, always what they say, you are the best king. Like that, they often they prize the king. Okay, so when the king was prized according to his victory, according to his ruling style, what the people spoke, everything they return. Some people, particularly the learned people, they return or they are making like a poem like. Okay, so that is one we called as prasasti. In your book they given two prasasti. One is about Nagabhatta. Nagabhatta was a ruler of one area, that I will attach to you. Okay, another the Chola prasasti they given. Okay, so the prasasti. So who wrote the prasasti? Suppose one Brahmana poet wrote the prasasti. He is getting a prize from the king. Okay, so the king gave some prizes or gave some land. Okay, that prize, that what he granted to the people, that is sometimes mentioned in inscription mode. Suppose we are going to temple or any ancient monuments, we can see some inscription. So in that inscription they mention what are the prices were written in that copper plate or inscription. Okay, so the Prasastis, again we are going to discuss about Prasastis. In the Prasastis, sometimes very long poem. Okay, so he only the king only the best in the world. He achieved lot, like that. Very lengthy poem like they are making. Okay, one of the lengthy poem of Prasasti, the ruler of Kashmir, they are found during time of that archaeologists found the lengthy Prasasti of one of the Kashmir king, right? So Prasastis and land grants, particularly the king, the price of king, and the king gave it to the people who wrote the Prasasti, the people. Okay, that one we have discussed. So the next topic is warfare for wealth. Okay, warfare for wealth. See, suppose we are living in the king's ruling period. We just go back 1000 years back means we are living in that. You just imagine. Okay, what are the reason may the kings will fight each other? Suppose one king you are in one dynasty. Our dynastic king going to be fight with other the nearby king. So what are the reason may he will fight to other king? Just imagine. Yeah, maybe for wealth. Okay, so for taking of looting wealth from that country. Okay, second reason for expand their ruling area. Suppose one particular region they may ruled means he want to expand his ruling area, so that is second reason. Maybe that country, other country king may disturb this particular king's ruling. So there is various reason for war in those days. Okay, so here what are the things we are going to be discussed means tri-party struggle. First topic is tri-party struggle. Okay, so tri-parties struggle. Tri-party struggle. So here I draw our map, our country map. One is Rashtrakuta. Okay, Rashtrakuta, the ruling dynasty of Rashtrakuta. Second is Gujra and Pratikara. Okay, Gujra and Pratikara. Here we have lot of Rajput rulers also. Okay, Gujra and Pratikara. First they are ruling in the part of Gujarat only. After that only they expand their ruling. So under their ruling, many subordinate, many Samantas were work. They are from the Rajput family. Okay, so Gujra and Pratikara, and present day West Bengal and Bangladesh. Those days that also included in India only. So that area was called as Pala dynastics. Okay, so Rashtrakuta dynastics, Gujra and Pratikara dynastics, and Pala dynastics. So these three dynastics often fight with each other. Okay, these three dynastics often they fight with each other to control Kannauj. Okay, here we have one of the place. The place name is Kannauj. Okay, where it is located, it means it is located in present day Uttar Pradesh. Here we have Yamuna river. Okay, the Yamuna river bank, the city Kannauj is located. So all three dynastics, okay, all three dynastics often fight to control this Kannauj region. Why means this Kannauj was very famous in that time. Why? Because this city is located in the river bank. Okay, Ganga and tributaries flows in this city. So the land is very fertile land. Okay, the agriculture activity happened very long. So very wealthy city. Okay, many traders, many foreign traders also come this city and they are involved in trading. That's why the city was very wealthy city. So who controlled this city? Okay, which government, which king controlled this Kannauj and that particular region? They are getting lot of wealth. Okay, that's why often these three dynastics, Rashtrakuta dynasty, Gujra and Pratikara, and Pala dynasty, these three dynastics other. So this struggles, this fight only called as tri-party struggle. Okay, so Rashtrakuta dynasty, Rashtrakuta and Gujara and Pratikara, Gujara and Pratikara and Pala. So these are fighting each other. These three kingdoms fought each other to control Kannauj for its wealth. Okay, so that is only called as tri-party struggle. It's very important topic. You have to understand clearly, right? So around 8th to 9th century time, many foreign rulers, they tried to attack India. Okay, in see just the time of 9th and 8th to 9th century, this is the Pakistan, present day Pakistan, you know very well. But in those days, this part also called it's combined in India alone. Okay, here Afghanistan, present day Afghanistan, we have Afghanistan. It's the rulers of Afghanistan. Who are the rulers of Afghanistan? Means many Muslim rulers, they ruled Afghanistan area. Okay, during 9th century, the time of 9th century time, one of the ruler of Afghan, his name was Muhammad. Okay, his name of Muhammad. He ruled the area of Ghazni. Okay, the area of Ghazni. What is the ruler name is Muhammad. Okay, Sultan means in India how we called the ruler as a king. No, like that. In Muslim countries, the king is called as a Sultan. Okay, so Sultan Muhammad, he ruled the area Ghazni. Okay, so where is Ghazni is located means Afghanistan. Okay, so when he was ruled in his country, the time period is 997 to 1030. So around 30 years he may ruled. 30 or 33 years he may ruled. So out of these 33 or 30 years, he attacked. Okay, he raided to India. Okay, so he want to cross. Here we have Indus River Valley. Okay, so here and then here we have Khyber Poland Pass. So all the difficulties he crossed, he attacked. Okay, what his focus means? Okay, around 30 years or 33 years, he attacked. Muhammad Ghazni attacked India around 17 times. Okay, not one time or two times. 17 times he attacks India. Okay, he don't have any motto to rule India. What is his motto? Means to looted. Okay, looted things from India. Looted means taking things from India to his country. Okay, so taking things to his country. So which is his main goal? Which place his main goal means? Particularly temples. Okay, so which place he attacked means temples. Many temples may attacked by Muhammad Ghazni during 1997 to 1030. Okay, so each and every time he carry over, he took lot of things to his country. Okay, so many temples were collapsed by the king of Ghazni. Okay, the Muhammad Ghazni collapsed lot of temples, particularly in North India. He is not raided South India, so up to North India alone he raided. So he focused only Hindu temples only. So that time India was ruled, many Hindu kings only ruled. There is no Muslim kings that time. They are not started to rule. The last attack, which was his last attack means Somnath temple. Okay, Somnath temple, where Somnath temple is located means present day Gujarat. In present day Gujarat we have one of the place. It's a famous Shiva temple. Somnath temple. It was wealthy temple like present Tirupati. Okay, so he is taking lot of wealth in that temple. Okay, so each and every time, all 17 times, he is taking lot of wealth from India to other countries. So whenever the kings going to attack, whether Hindu kings or Muslim king, whenever they are going to attack to other country, their first aim is temple alone. Why? Because in temple in those days it has lot of wealth like precious stones and precious gold metals, gold ornaments, everything has in the temple. Why? Because many kings they donate lot of things to temple. That's why they are focusing temple. Okay. So, followed by Muhammad Ghazani, many Muslim rulers they started to come to India. They started to attack. That is happened later. Okay. So, like that, one of the Muslim ruler, his name also Muhammad. Okay. His name also Muhammad. He is ruled the area Gori. Okay. He is ruled the area Gori. This is also in Afghan. Okay. This is also located in Afghanistan. Okay, Gori also located in Afghanistan. The ruler name was Muhammad. Okay, what is his ruling period means? Around 1160 to 1190, 1100. Okay, so he is what was his main aim means when he comes to ruling. He hears lot of things about India, so he collects his army. He raided to India. Okay, so what is his main aim? He is not like Muhammad Ghazani. Muhammad Ghazani aim was only looting India. He looting things from India, and he's returned the wealthy things to his country. But Muhammad Gori is aim to rule India. Okay, he is the first person to aim to rule India. Okay, that time India was the North India fully ruled by small kings. Okay, the small kings were called as Rajput kings. Okay, in that kings they are not unit. There is no unity of the kings. Okay, often they fight each other for various reasons. And the area, what is the entrance of India? Okay, from the foreigners, the entrance part is very weak. Okay, so which are the kings rule in this area, they are also not focused for the security in the places. Okay, so when the Muhammad Gori, he started to come to India for occupying land. That time, for short period, the kings who were ruled this area, the kings, the Rajput kings, they are making one agreement. So they all together and they are fight against Muhammad Gori. So the first two times he came to India. The first war he lost, second war he won. Okay. So the first war, when the first war happened means 1191. So in the 1191, the war happened under the Sahamanas, or the Sahamanas later they called as Chaukans. Okay, the Sahamanas, they are also the Rajput family. So one of the king, the famous king Prithviraj. Okay, Prithviraj Chaukan. Okay, the Prithviraj Chaukan was very famous king in those days. So he is not ready to lost his kingdom to Gori. Okay, so that's why he collect all the kings. He made agreement all the kings, the Rajput kings who were ruled here. Okay, so where the Prithviraj Chaukan ruled means here we have Delhi. Okay, and Ajmer. Okay, Delhi and Ajmer. This area was ruled by Prithviraj Chaukan and his brother. Okay, so the Prithviraj Chaukan, he made agreement the kings who are ruled Kashmir and the Rajasthan, Gujarat side. So he made agreement and he fight against Gori. Okay, so the war happened the year of 1191. So in that war, that Muhammad Ghori he was defeated means lost the war. Okay, the Muhammad Ghori defeated by Prithviraj Chauhan. So Muhammad Ghori lost his war by Prithviraj Chauhan. Okay, so he returned back to his country, but he is not ready to lose the war. That's why again the very next year, the year of 1192, again he comes to India for capture and rule. But what happened in that time means our Indian kings, our Rajput kings, again they are separated. They are not unit, and they fought each other. Okay, so the Muhammad Ghori utilized that particular situation, and he came, he attacked, he occupied, he won that war. The second war was won by Ghori. Okay, second war was won by Ghori in the year of 1192, because of our Indian kings not unit. Okay, that's why our people lost the war. Okay, when he comes to India, when he got victory in that war 1192, he around 2-3 years he ruled in India. Okay, after that the climate condition, the weather condition is not suitable for him. That's why he is moving from India again to Afghanistan. Instead of his ruling, he appointed one person. His name was Qutbuddin Aibak. Okay, about Qutbuddin Aibak we will discuss in the third lesson. Okay, that is, he is the only ruler, the first Muslim ruler, Qutbuddin Aibak. Instead of Muhammad Ghori, he started to rule. So this is the very first reason the foreign people they started to rule India, because of our kings not they are not unit. Okay, so this reason only India was started to rule other kings, right? So up to now, what are the things we discussed means the emergency of new dynastics. Okay, so in the topic, how the Rashtrakuta dynastics were formed, the Gujara and Pratikara dynastic, how the form, and about Mayurashiman and Pratikara, these things and all we discuss under the topic. Okay, so the next topic, administration of the kingdom. So in what way the new dynastics, the new kingdoms, what are the method they followed for their administration, that we discuss. Okay, so who are the people were helped for the administration activity, and how many types of tax they collected, everything we discuss under that topic, right? So third topic what we discuss is Prashasti and land grants. So what is Prashasti? The price of king. Okay, when the learned people, they price the king, that is called as Prashasti, and for return what they get from the king, the land grants, that too we discuss in that topic. Okay, last topic is very important topic, wherefore wealth. In that topic we discuss about three things. One is tripartite struggle. So tripartite struggle, the war between three countries, Rashtrakuta, Gujarat, Pratikara and Pala, to control Kannauj. Okay, so for controlling Kannauj, the countries Rashtrakuta, Gujarat, Pratikara, Pala, they fight each other. That we discuss of tripartite struggle. Okay, again next we discuss about the Muslim ruler Muhammad Ghazini. He attacked India around 17 times. Each time he looted lot of things. What was his focus? What was his main focus means temples alone. Okay, so temples were destroyed by him, and he is taking lot of things, that too we discussed, right? After Muhammad Ghazini's attack around the year of 1191, one of the Muslim king, he also from Afghan, his name was Ghori. So he came to India 2 times. The first time in the year of 1191 he lost the war, but in the year of 1192 he won the war. He has aim to rule India, but he ruled only 2 years. Then he appoint some other person for ruling. Okay, that too we discuss in this session. Okay, you just go through, and there any doubt we are